broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey, Jamma Jamma.
Woo!
Hey, she's a bad man, Jamma. Yo, my headphones are hella loud.
Are they? I always forget which one's up and down.
What is up, guys? Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV Scandal After Show. That was loud, y'all. Y'all understand? This is episode 12, Wild Card. As always, your favorite gladiators are here, and Kennelia is back in the his house. She is back. We're so happy to be here. We're here ready to break down this episode of Scandal, starting with me, Emile Ennis Jr.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kennelia.
Hi, gladiators. I'm Sofia Stanley.
Hi, I'm Bamm Ericsen. My earphones are not working, so that's why I don't have earphones on.
Bam, I can't. Okay. And hi to everybody on Periscope. I'm Periscope. I'm going to leave it on, y'all. I love this. I'm on Wi-Fi, so we should be fine. All right. So let's break this down. This episode, I thought once again we had a really good episode. First of all, Francisco Vargas. Last week, I was like, why does he look familiar? And then Bam told me he's from Desperate Housewives. And as we see later in the episode, he still got that body, though. Speaking of bodies, we had Francisco Vargas, Tom, Fitz. There were a lot of shirtless men in this episode.
I'll give you 2 out of 3.
I could have done without the Fitz.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah, I said it.
Nudity.
I can't. I thought that everybody looked great. Okay? Everybody looked great. So we won't give any ratings for who looked the best, but Fitz. All right. So,
well, let me
I think you might need to give your glasses to Emile, because
let me shade Fitz. He was sucking it in just a little. You could tell he was sucking. He couldn't breathe. Sorry.
It was like the concave. It was concave.
Shade.
But easy, Otis. He looks great for his age.
How old is
Like
Tony?
Like 50, 49.
Look at him in the gym. Yeah. But you know, Hollywood.
I mean, yeah.
I like how he says for his age, like that's old or something.
Oh.
I don't think that's old.
I mean, I don't think it's old either, but I mean, just for his age versus someone like Jake, who's in his, I think, 30s, his body.
No, Jake is 40.
Oh, is it?
Is he 40?
Okay, 40. But
Please. They just say there's no way there's 10 years difference.
Well, wait. How old?
Okay, sorry, tangent.
Yeah.
Focus.
I'm getting off Periscope because I can't concentrate. All right, now let me host the show. Okay, so Francisco Vargas, remember he was introduced last episode. Cyrus is trying to vet him, and then he went to one of his speeches, and he seems like a really good candidate. In this episode, we had Ethan, who we've had on the show before, and we've had Tom on the show before, and we had Cyrus on the show before.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The trifecta.
Right? Ethan was in this episode, so it was nice to see you back.
Yes.
And he was helping Cyrus find out more about Francisco, and as he's vetting him, we see that he pretty much has no bad stuff, as Cyrus likes to say. And then at first I was like, there has to be something bad, but then you guys said no. He we said some things off camera, but yeah, he's good. He's good.
What I kept bringing up is, he kind of has to be all good because Cyrus has never worked with someone who's completely good or completely unflawed in their approach. Because even with Fitz wasn't, he was good, but Fitz wasn't, he didn't seem to have the complete go-getter personality where pull yourself up from your bootstraps and send your kids to public school. He didn't have that upbringing. This guy seems to be so good and so angelic. It might be a bigger challenge for Cyrus than we think, because who is Cyrus even dealing with now who is as cookie cutter as this guy?
True.
I mean, on some levels, I'm going to take a slightly different approach. You can't not win with this guy.
True.
The problem is whether or not Cyrus will get in Cyrus's own way. Because to me, even the setup of the plan to bring Vargas into national attention makes sense, but then the execution to me is sloppy. It's not going to go this way, but in 2016, with TV cameras and the internet and so forth and so on, no one's going to ask why this guy literally shot someone and then looks over his right shoulder. So at least, what should have happened is, and sorry I'm jumping ahead, is that when the shooter, when Tom shot the governor, right, you should have then had another sniper shot. Because that would have then, right? So we should have literally had 2 guns set up to have another shot come so that other whizzes by, and that's why the guy turns to his right, because it's a sniper shot. Yeah. There's no reason for him to look over his right shoulder. That just doesn't make sense. So I say all of that to say that the difference is he couldn't actually corrupt Fitz because Fitz was actually already corruptible because Fitz didn't deserve to be in the White House. The difference with this guy is, not only is this guy arguably deserves to be in the White House, he theoretically, until this incident, had no plans of being in the White House and is virtually perfect. Immigrant parents, worked his way through school, married his high school sweetheart, has 3 kids. Special forces, sends them to public school. And again, and not only that, he's from a state that is very also working class. So he's not middle class, he's not lower class, he's working class, which is arguably the bread and butter of America and often the class that is not talked about when we're talking about politics. So he's perfect. I think the next however many episodes is how quickly Cyrus can either corrupt him or get in Cyrus's own way and make it more difficult. Because you don't need to vet this guy, you don't need to plan for this guy, you don't need to do anything. You just need to put this guy up there and he's going to be a viable candidate.
Well, before we go more into dissecting him, because I have a couple of things with that. Why? And this is just a general question. I just need answered. If you don't have to answer it, but somebody needs to answer it. Just why was Tom coming out shirtless?
Well, I said this during when we were watching it. We've only seen Tom as a Secret Service. We don't know his personal life. We don't know if he's married. We don't know if he's gay, straight, bi. We know nothing about him. His only job on this show was to protect the president. So now that we are in a little into his personal life, he could have been gay, bisexual, whatever, trisexual. He could have been whatever a long time ago. But the fact that he came out of Cyrus's room shirtless in a towel, I'm just saying.
Well, my thing is, you picking Cyrus though?
Can I say something?
Cyrus might be a nice man, but
Cyrus and Reverend Ike, Papa Pope, there is something very powerful and very in charge about these 2 men. I mean, look at the way they talk to people. So they may be old school Max. I mean, he pulled what's his name? Who won the Emmy? What's his name? They killed him. He was younger.
Oh, Dan Bukantiski.
He had him. I'm just saying, it's possible that he has enough game to be able to pull little young things.
Well, my high school principal, Mr. Bobian, was old and he was in charge, and I didn't want to smash Mr. Bobian.
Listen,
oh my!
Some people into that super older stuff, so maybe that's just his thing. I don't know.
Sorry, this is an adult or grown folk moment. Am I the only one who's like, maybe Cyrus got a? He probably. I mean, let's be like Cyrus does kind of like walk around like
he might be slanging. He might be slanging with a good wood. I can't. It's like we're watching Real Housewives of Potomac. If you get that reference.
What do you think?
I think I don't know. That's why I'm just asking. I just need to throw it out there. I don't know if he's that.
Oh, let's look at Twitter. Keep talking.
See if anybody. I just need to know. It was just a general question. I just wanted to know. Okay. So after we see Cyrus and Tom working together, we see Tom go meet Wayne, and Wayne is the guy. We didn't really know what the plan was, but basically he said, "Are you willing to sacrifice your life for your child?" And parallel that with Charlie has to go babysit, and Quinn is joining him with the babysitting. So somebody pointed out shortly after that, oh, that's probably the child that's connected to Wayne or whatever. As we're watching this, Wayne is set up to go to the Capitol building in Pennsylvania. And when he goes there, he walks into the building and Tom pretty much shoots 3 police officers. And then my question is, it goes back to what you were saying, Sophia, earlier about, the times we live in and everything. Is it just me, or would nobody see Tom later in security footage? Like, he walked into the building, then he's walking all through the hallways, then even though he's around the corner and shoots the governor, like, am I confused? Like,
No, you're not confused at all.
I was just like,
you're not confused at all. You want to know why? Because also, too, not only is it 2016, it's episode 13, 12, 14 of season 5 of Scandal. So we've learned more than that on Scandal of how to shoot people and get away with it rather than the sloppy ass way that Tom did. So it's insulting to us as the viewers to think that we're just gonna go, okay.
I can't.
That makes sense.
I don't know. It didn't.
That's good.
It didn't really make sense, and I was confused, and I'm thinking maybe B613 created an invisibility cloak we don't know about or something, because I just didn't understand it.
Then they might need to do it over the show.
No, yo. Okay, so Charlie and Quinn, with their relationship.
No, the funny thing is, this is the only thing I liked. I liked it. You want to know why? Because I thought that it was so ironic how easily Quinn has fallen into, he's my boyfriend, and completely forgot that he's a spy. So again, I'm not saying that spies can't have real friends and spies can't know real children, but again, I don't know, like I for that split second was there with Quinn, and Charlie knew about Frozen, whatever.
Let it go. Let it go.
But at the same time, I think she should have known better.
Yeah.
So who is this kid? Like, who, you know what I mean? How come I've never heard you talk about him? Like, I don't know. There's just spidey senses, again, that I think that nobody except for Huck is picking up on. Do you know what I mean? Olivia, obviously off her game. We've said that there's no reason to beat a dead horse. But I kind of should expect more out of Quinn. But then at the same time, the fact that I expect more out of Quinn, I'm also going to reprimand myself to go, well, no, why would I expect anything than what we got?
Yeah. Well, Cyrus is the only person who's super, super on his game right now. Even though, do you guys think that, because it goes back earlier when we talked about how he's such a qualified candidate, do you guys think that this whole scenario plan was even necessary in order to possibly get this guy in the White House?
No. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, but because he's an older man who's been stuck in his ways, and he's used to doing certain things. He only knows how to make this big ta-da in order to get him where he thinks he needs to get.
Oh yeah, like Cyrus he's using the old Cyrus playbook on how to build a candidate instead of thinking, oh well, maybe I don't have to do it with this dude. It can just organically become that.
Yeah.
But then again, though, the election is what, a year away?
Yeah.
So he kind of does have to speed it up and beef up the effort, because in a year, if nobody's talking about you at all, like in 1 year.
No, I disagree, and this is why. It's going to be unpopular. However, given the fact that you have 2 women candidates, all you have to do is throw in a man. Mm-hmm. It's actually really that simple.
But a Hispanic man.
And that's even better. Like, if you're
for who?
No, it's better for everyone. That's why his numbers are so great. Think about it. His numbers were, he was pro-choice, pro-guns. Literally, he was everything left and everything right. Mm-hmm. His numbers were everything left and everything right. Do you know what I mean? And especially if you think about it, even especially as a voting bloc, and I haven't done like political demographics for a long time, so forgive me if I'm getting these numbers wrong, but the Latino market, in terms of actual just pure numbers in the U.S., is 17% from the last census, right?
Right.
That's number one. Number two, arguably, it is the most diverse demographic there is. So arguably, unlike African Americans, whether or not this is true or not, the African American vote is presumed to vote in a block, meaning that we vote together, and that for the most part, we have no other choice but to vote Democrat. So the important aspect is making sure that we come out to vote Democrat to make sure that a Democratic president gets elected. The difference with the Latino vote is it is not voting as a block. It votes any which way it wants to. Because why? Because their experiences are different, depending upon what country they come from, whether or not they're born here, not born here, whether they're Spanish speakers or non-Spanish speakers. There are so many different things that it literally pulls the most amount of people. That's the first thing. The second thing is, however, when you pull someone into the race that is neither Mellie, who has a track record of being the first lady, and that's all. Yeah, she wrote this book, but who cares? And then you have Susan Ross, who is a second-term vice president who wasn't actually elected on the ticket. You bring in this strong, I'm literally, do you see how I'm getting geeked up? And I'm not even a Republican. Does it make sense? Here you have a guy, and I don't know if he's Republican or Democrat, but so he sends his kids to public schools, but he served our country. His parents were immigrants, but then put themselves through school, and then his mom, was a nurse and something else. Do you see how vested I am? And I'm not even vested in the show?
I can't.
No, do you know what I'm trying to say? I hope I'm getting this right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And again, he's the governor of Pennsylvania, which again is working class. Even the fact of the way that when last episode, he came outside of the podium and spoke directly to his constituents, it's perfect. Even though it's written this way, again, you have a shooter coming into a place and you literally allow everyone else to leave except for yourself, you know you're dead.
Wow.
Literally, the only way to survive a hostage situation is to have other hostages and to hope that you are not the first one to be shot, because someone always has to get shot to prove a point.
No, Sophia, you make a great point. But with all of his list of great things that he does, now that Cyrus has put him to the forefront, and then it literally just brings everything else to look and see what his resume is. So
no, see, this is and I'll get off this. I apologize, and maybe I watch way too many Kennedy conspiracy theories, so forth and so on. So you left the gunman alive. Why? Again, we left the gunman who was set up to do this alive because why?
Well, because
we can bring it up later.
Do you know what I mean?
The scandal can come out.
No, you shoot him in the head. This is stupid.
I do feel like there's more to that story.
But it doesn't make sense. You would never. There's absolutely no reason that Cyrus should not have told Tom, after you're done, shoot the shooter.
Well, clearly Cyrus wasn't really in control,
my
because
God.
Tom wasn't even listening to what he was saying.
Oh my God!
Tom hung up in his face.
Yeah,
I'll put you back in the box. Tom was like, click.
We can spend.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, so
Tom.
Yeah. So now, Francisco's he's in the White House. He meets the president. Cyrus's plan is working. He has national attention. Let's go to Fitz. Fitz pissed me off this episode multiple times. Okay.
Just this episode. I'm sorry.
Listen, y'all gonna stop. Okay. Fitz is now dating Lillian Forrester. Now, keep in mind, Fitz's last bae, side piece, boo thing, whatever you want to call Liv, whatever they had at one point, she was kidnapped. Okay, y'all remember that, right?
Yes.
She was kidnapped. That was a large part of the season. She was kidnapped. And I think I'm confused because when Abby first approaches Fitz to pretty much say, because remember, they were in the car, they were making out, Abby busts in and says she needs to talk to him. And then after he gets out, he starts berating her for busting in and saying, you can't do this, blah, 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 it's my personal life. And she's just trying to say, you need a plan. We need some type of protocol because you're the president of the United States. You can't just go around dating people. The way he was talking to her was very disrespectful, and I was offended, okay? It bothered me so much, and I'm just glad that as the episode progressed, Abby finally got it in the last 5 minutes, and she shut him down. But what did you guys think about Fitz this episode?
Well, I just want to go to Twitter real quick. At Tar Heel Jean says, once again, Fitz shows he's too much of a child to be president. Spoiled brat, spoiled brat, spoiled brat.
Well, I wrote down, let me read my notes.
Oh my gosh.
Fitz is dingy. That's what I wrote down. Now,
exclamation point.
Y'all know I am a participant of the Fitz drag. I enjoy it. But he always gives a reason for the drag. So Fitz, you've been in the White House now 7 years. Mm-hmm. and now you're dating someone new. Okay, cool. You're smitten and you want to be able to live life like a normal man and get out of my business. This is my life. But you don't know that you had to put a plan in place. You got a plan to eat when you're the president. They won't even let the president in real life eat on camera. And I didn't know this. I didn't even realize this until I saw our real president on Running Wild with Bear, what's his name, when they let him eat the salmon. That was the first time they've ever shown him even
with Bear
eat.
Grylls?
Eat on camera because they won't let us see him eating. So you telling me, Fitz, that you didn't know, but to date somebody that you needed to plan?
See, the funny thing is, I actually agree with you 100%, but for a different reason. That actually shows you that it's because he never should have been president.
He's so damn.
He is actually, he's the epitome of that. He's that entitled. Like, when people talk about entitlement, they're talking about Fitz because they don't even know what they don't know. They don't even know that there's something that they should know that they don't know. So the problem is, in that moment, he was actually being organic. That's why he's so pompous and so cocky. Because he actually doesn't know. What I wrote is, and I'm going to try to do the PG version, is if you are grown enough to boink, you are grown enough to talk about boinking. So at the end of the day, if you're going to bring in your little reporter girlfriend, who first of all now has completely thrown away her job, the minute this becomes public, your career is done.
Well, that's not her real career, but we'll get to that.
I can't even.
For me, I think
it's because you're right, and that's why. Like,
although Fitz is
dingy,
he's terrible. What did I say last week? He's a terrible president. He's just terrible. But
no, you said he should burn.
Oh, burn too. Yeah, he needs to burn too. But I need to get on Abby just for a second because I think Abby needs to understand her position.
Okay.
She needs to understand her position. When I used to be an assistant for a celebrity or whatever, they're very bipolar. You know, 1 minute they say one thing, 1 minute they do the other. So 2 weeks ago, Fitz is calling her because he needs her. Now he don't need you, and so now you have to adjust to them. So what Abby needs to do is she needs to take different approaches how to get him to do his job because he's like a celebrity.
Okay,
he's like
but the difference is he's not. So if a celebrity gets mad, who cares? They show up on the red carpet in the wrong dress. If the president F's up, he could literally kill us all. Like, even let's stop. Even the fact that no one has properly vetted her, and we know this freaking show, so she probably is a spy. He literally has put all of us in harm's way. If there is anything happen to the president of the United States, he puts the entire American defense system in jeopardy. It's serious. It's not a celebrity. Who fucking...
No, but I get that. But if you are working for a man who's not going to listen and do what you say, then I mean, 10 years later though.
No, but he did because at the end of the day, she had to have the full out. Because the difference is, because everyone treats him like a celebrity and no one actually gives him the real talk, he actually didn't realize how serious the situation was. That's why when she spoke to him the way that she did, what did he say? He said, thank you, number one. And number two, why did he say call me Fitz? Because what he was saying is, we are now equals. I now see you as an equal because you did not talk to me like an assistant. You did not talk to me like an underling. You gave me the real talk, and therefore I was able to make a real presidential grown-up decision.
The damages are already done. I think if she would have taken an approach and she would have maybe done something, if she would have done it differently, she could have helped save the situation. Because now with the fact that the pictures and stuff are out, this is going to get out, and whoever knows what's going to happen with him, but so who cares? But I just think that you need to understand who you're dealing with. Yeah, it all worked out in the end, but because this is Scandal and this is the way that it was written. But what it really would have...
You don't think that there are people who have to talk real talk to the President of the United States of America? That regardless of the fact that he is our commander-in-chief, if in fact... Korea or I'm getting confused, North Korea or South Korea or whomever, I apologize for getting them mixed up, I'm heated. all of a sudden like goes into international waters?
Yeah,
that you don't think that someone's gonna knock on his door or go through his door regardless of what he's doing? Go ahead, Emile. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think the blame should be on Abby. I don't think she should have to adjust anything, because that goes back to what she said. Like, this is your job. You're the president. He's the president of the United States.
Well, I wouldn't have minded if she would have done nothing at all.
Yeah, that too, or just quit.
I wouldn't have minded if she wouldn't have done, or no, stay in the job, because Fitz already, when Cyrus gave him the pep talk about making this your last year, Fitz was basically like saying, I don't want to do nothing. I want to just kick it, and I don't want to fire things up. I don't want to have one last hurrah and fight to the end. He kind of basically said, no, I don't want to do that. When Abby said about the plan, he acted aloof like he always does, and basically was like, I don't want no plan. If after she did it the 2 times and he didn't want to follow through, okay, cool. Because yes, the blowback when Abby's on the podium is going to be on her when reporters are asking her questions, wanting answers. But at the end of the day, Fitz, yeah, they caught you with the Paps. The Paps caught you sleeping with somebody. So guess whose reputation it is? Yes, it's mine, but it's yours too.
No, but the difference is he has a trust fund. It doesn't affect him. That's the irony is.
Because that would be a cop out. If that happened, if he got out early, then that makes him like that. Everything that happened, I want it to happen.
He can go.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's 6 months. He doesn't give it. No, I agree with you. But because Fitz doesn't care is exactly why Abby needs to care.
Yeah.
Because Abby needs to be concerned about herself. Abby needs to be concerned about her job and her reputation.
She should quit.
I agree.
She should quit. But I will say,
go where?
Exactly. Back to OPA. What I will say is, when she bars into the bedroom, I can't.
No, but really, I mean, sorry.
I can't watch this show after seconds. Okay.
When she bars into the bedroom and she caught them doing whatever they were doing, and the reporter had to leave and she exited the private residence, all that stuff. After we saw her leave, I said under my breath, and Sophia caught me, I said, I hope she gets shot in the head. I didn't mean it's a bad thing. I was just saying because Fitz is so damn stupid this episode. He is so... What were you going to say?
Shot in the head.
What?
Sexual. Sorry, I just had a moment.
Wait a minute. I did not mean like that. Wait a minute. I meant a bullet. I did not mean... let me take that back. I don't want her to die. Just like a stabbing or something where she would be injured. Just to get... Because, sometimes it doesn't affect you until... Fitz, like, if she got hurt, then Fitz would see, oh, God, I need to come up with a plan. But anyway, that's just what I thought. I had to get that out of there. How do we even... Okay.
That would...
Not that type, no. Okay.
And I'm going to try not to curse for the remainder of the episode.
So, Fitz was just really dumb this episode, but I'm glad that Abby finally got through to him at the end. And as far as what you were saying, Bamm, I don't think that she needed to adjust her approach. It's just Fitz is stupid. There's nothing. There's no different approach she could have done besides what she did to get to him, and everything that happened prior to the final scene with them needed to happen in order for him to finally realize the error of his ways.
And also, too, if I recall, and please, Gladiators, let me know specifically what episode. Don't you guys remember specifically the episode that he had with Tom and the other one whose name I can't remember? About what it takes for him to go to Olivia's house without the full escort?
Yes, he knows.
So he's had this conversation. I just realized, sorry. No, go ahead.
He knows, he just doesn't care.
Well, true. I'm just qualifying what I had previously said, that he actually, in fact, on this show knows. But I think speaks more to his entitlement.
We don't really have to touch on this, but I felt bad, and we were going into Liv now. I felt bad when Abby called Liv, and she needed support, but she couldn't talk about it because the subject mattered.
Yes.
And what?
I mean...
No, but it's not duh, because the difference is like, what do you do?
She doesn't have Cyrus.
There's literally, she's the only other person who she can talk to, not only from an emotional perspective, but also from a clearance perspective. She's the only other person she could tell without literally not committing treason. But yet she can't, because she also cares about her friend, more so than her friend cares about her. Because that whole my other line is ringing. Yo, I totally agree with Kennelia. I totally agree with Kennelia.
I thought that was of a cop-out because for me, I felt as if she knew that Liv knew that she was going to hear some news about Fitz or something and she didn't want to hear it. So it was a cop-out to say, oh, girl, I got to go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I didn't.
Oh, you mean Liv?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Liv didn't want to hear it. Liv ain't ready. She can't even deal with herself right now. She's dealing with Papa Pope and trying to figure out if he's genuine or not, which he's not. Like, Liv's just...
I wrote down in my notes, Olivia is dingy.
I can't. Kennelia, will you do me a favor? Will you pull up your Instagram photo and tell me what time you posted it? Because that will tell me when we started.
Okay, perfect.
But you know what's funny, though? Even though I know that everyone has been loving Liv wearing color, I'm finally glad that she went back to black.
Yo.
Well, I didn't mind the color.
I'm saying I loved the color.
What did I write down?
But literally, the fact that I had to wait 20 minutes left, you guys.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Max. The fact that I had to wait, I'm glad I had to wait because that black outfit was everything.
Oh no, the black outfit.
So the last one was.
She looked like Catwoman walking in. That collar.
But
everything.
Or the Kit Kat woman, not Halle Berry.
Halle Berry.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Halle Berry. Halle Berry. Can somebody just please explain to me why Liv is shocked that Papa Pope and Jake are in cahoots and they're playing her? Like, I don't understand why.
Well, first, even before that. Why, when she met with her father, did she give him Melly's book? Mm-hmm. Why does he have the... Is he an editor now?
Well, he did work for the Smithsonian.
What is he doing with the book? I immediately was like, oh, he's going to change it. He's going to change the book. The book is going to come out, and it's not going to be the book they wrote. And then Olivia's going to have to say to Melly, I gave my dad your book.
Wait, but didn't the book leak last week?
Yeah.
No, chapter.
Just a chapter. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But what in what world would it be any benefit for him to have the book?
Because she needs daddy's approval.
That's exactly. Say that again, Emile, please.
She needs daddy's approval. It goes back to what Huck was saying later. Oh, he's your guy. Like, he's your guy. And the thing is,
that scene, oh my goodness.
Huck is amazing. Guillermo Diaz. She doesn't even realize, and that's the sad thing. Like, and what he said he created you. Like, everything that's seen, he's a monster. The monster will turn around and eat you too. Like, she's turning this blind eye to this dude. Like, he's changed.
Because you know why? And we've said it since his introduction. Olivia can only live in a world of black and white. She cannot exist in a world of gray. So in her mind, he can either be bad or he can be good.
He's my father. He will never hurt me.
He already did.
But then also too, this is where it gets really, really complicated. Have you ever noticed that on TV shows, but also in real life, when you have a friend who's in a relationship and the relationship is horrible and it is dysfunctional and it sometimes is abusive, whether or not and let's just stick with emotional abuse for the time being, and the person's response is always, but I love him, or I love her, or they love me. Yo, people can love you and beat the shit out of you. Yeah, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but I think that's kind of that concept that those two can't exist together. And I'm not telling you to stay in those types of relationships, but the fact that someone thinks that those two cannot exist together is very immature. In general, the problem that we've always had with Olivia is arguably she's stuck at about 12. Whenever her mom fake died and she was sent off to boarding school is where her emotional development stopped. And because of that, she can only have one or the other. So the fact that she no longer now has, quote unquote, the love of her life, she no longer has in her mind that one man that she thought was gonna love her regardless, the one man that she thought fully saw her and really fully understood and actualized who she was. If that's not Fitz, then it has to be her father.
Yeah.
Because her father has always said from day one that Fitz has never been your equal or should have never been that person filling that area. So because it's not him, then it then means that her father is right. And if her father is right, then her father must love her. And if her father must love her, then he cannot also be the devil and or the monster or command. To me, the silver lining in this show for me is the fact that they all can exist together. Do I really think that Rowan loves her? Completely. Do I think he's a maniacal monster? Completely. Because at the end of the day, his love of her is so actually all-encompassing that there is only one end goal for her. And the only end goal for her is for her to eventually supersede him to be the demagogue of power. And if she does anything less than be the demagogue of power, then he would actually rather kill her.
Well, when they had that scene where they were sitting at the dinner table and she was going through the different moments they had in the past and having this realization, that's cool. Fast forward to Jake when she is sleeping with him again. And then she decided that after we have a security issue, a national security issue where there are literally 2 people dead, hostage scenario, you didn't want to talk to your fuck buddy about, are you working with my father? Why did you move in with him? What's going on? He's the NSA director who now needs to go to the White House, and you choose right now in this moment to stop him and...
Because she don't have nothing to do. No, but think about it. She doesn't have a job. She's the only one without a job. Think about it. Even Jake has a job now.
He does.
She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a client. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have anything to do. She literally is now becoming, and this is a sad reality, she is in fact now, with the exception of Mellie and Mellie's book, she is becoming the woman or the girl she thought she was becoming in the White House. But arguably, if she had possibly womaned up and wrote it out for a little while, she would have actually had real power.
Yeah.
But because she didn't, and she wussed out, now she has to take second fiddle to Mellie? Nah, dude, like, this don't even make no sense. And Jake's the head of the NSA. And your dad is retired.
Yeah. That retirement speech was kind of funny, though. I love it, you know? I mean... but
you know what? And you know what I wrote down? When he said... Oh, see, and I did. Because you all know. Like, I can't even help it. Like, I'm so, like, literally, as she was flashing back, I was screaming, the hell of the high water! Like, I love Rowan. When I wrote down, he goes, you're happy. And when he said, you're happy, she looked terrified. And then he said, like, basically in terms of his retirement, he's like, and all that, and now I'm finally still. To me, I wrote down, be still and you will know God. Because he thinks he's God.
Well, yeah, y'all know.
He literally is like, oh yeah, I can sit back on my little lounge chair and look at my children because I am literally looking at the masterful workings of God, which is me.
Disgusting.
Yeah. But he's transparent. If she thinks he's anything but transparent, I have no words to describe that. He is the most transparent person on this show. He even said it to her. Go get yourself some power. He said it to her. He literally was like, I don't respect you. You were in the White House. You were in 1600. You literally were wielding power and you let it go. I have no more use for you. That's what he said to her.
My thing is, back to Jake, though. Because Jake is not very transparent with her at all. And when she said to Huck, she said, the only winning move is not to play my dad always wins, right? I get that. I feel like she played her card way too soon, though, by asking Jake when she asked him. Instead of, like, when you just now made this revelation, she did that post-sex, still in her feelings and her emotions. Oh, he wouldn't hurt me. Well, so what are you doing exactly? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not thinking, like thinking with... and not thinking.
But did she ask him that before? Remember when we first came back from the break and they were doing it? She asked him this before, so that's not a new question. And he didn't answer her then.
Well,
it is a new question knowing that the dad just told her that he has another woman.
But he don't, guys. We can get to that.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with Kennelia.
Lives in her feelings. She's in her feelings. I am sick and tired of Jake, Liv, and even Ike. This whole scenario, I'm done. I'm bored. I'm ready to fry chicken and just like hang. I'm bored.
Side note, let me tell y'all. One time we had a meeting in my apartment. Okay, then we're gonna get back to the show. One time, I invited everybody over my apartment. Right? I have carpet in my apartment, by the way, all throughout. So Bamm said he's gonna fry some chicken. Why did Bamm come over to my apartment with a deep fryer, frying chicken in the kitchen, gluten-free? Frying chicken. We was sitting up, Kennelia and I. All of a sudden, like 30 minutes later, we still coughing, eyes turning red. We're like, what is happening right now? We had to open the window. Then, y'all know we get together, we talk. So my window's open because of the fried chicken, right? We start talking about all these different things, and you know, we part of Woke Nation, so we start talking about all this stuff. My apartment manager Emile! Emile! I live on the second floor. Emile! I was like, who is? Do y'all hear that? I look out the window. You are too loud. You are being too loud. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'll close the window.
She heard everything.
She heard everything when we were talking about Woke Nation. But if you guys want to hear, you can join us on Happy Hour, Shot of Conversation. And nobody will tell you to turn it down. It is a great conversation. We talked about the Oscars last night. Or rather,
we didn't talk about the Oscars. We talked about Justice for Flint.
Yes, All Deaf Movie Awards, the American Black Film Festival Awards, all that stuff. We talked about Kesha and her lawsuit. A lot of good stuff. So make sure you listen to it. Happy Hour Shot of Conversation on iTunes. Rate, comment, subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube right now, watching the Scandal After Show, thank you so much for watching us. We really appreciate it. Same thing. Click that thumbs up button and go to iTunes. Rate, comment, subscribe. We would really appreciate it.
Okay, real quick, can I say about the Jake and Liv thing, or is this a prediction? Because Jake doesn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah, agreed.
Olivia is this person. Olivia is this girlfriend. That picture that they have next week of him being out with a woman, that's like a little decoy. Jake wants to be the president because they dropped that seed before when he said he likes the View. Guess what a president needs? A wife. Guess who will be a great wife and a great partner for someone who's vying for the presidency, or a nice little puppet to prop up? Olivia. And her dad put them together in the first place.
You think, but okay, I thought you were going somewhere different too. I love where you're going, but can we actually tell that to the American people? We already sold Olivia as Fitz's mistress / girlfriend, supposed to be soon to be wife, and that ended. Can we now bring her back into the White House with someone else?
We're currently selling a candidate in real life who's a bigot. So you can sell anything, guys.
Well, I think for this show, I thought the girl that they're spying on is the first lady.
Vanessa Moss is Jake's new girl that we'll meet next week that they're trying to investigate right now.
Yeah, that's where I thought you were going.
Because I get what you're saying about what's happening in America right now currently.
Well, why? Jake wants to be in the White House and he doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have a prospect. He does, like, Olivia is the perfect.
No, she's the perfect puppet.
Just remember,
she's the perfect puppet pulling the strings, but not actually the perfect. She can't be in there.
Remember
she played her card.
She's the perfect puppet. But remember when she was in the White House, how happy her dad was and saying, "You finally had the power." He was happy. She can play. She can be the puppet master for Jake the same way she was with Fitz.
I don't think she can get back in there because even when they did that special on her and they analyzed everything, remember they talked about her past boyfriend. They're like she's searching for power. Yeah. If she gets back in the White House again, they dragging her.
Yeah, agreed.
That would just be...
Agreed.
They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
They can't do that.
I mean, good theory. But
no, I love it.
I will say, if they do that and she does get back in the White House, if they twist it the right way, that could make for good television. So that'll be interesting to see. Speaking of people trying to get into the White House, Susan Ross. Poor thing. Susan Ross is being played. Speaking of trying to get in the White House, puppets, all that stuff, Susan Ross is being played, and the puppet master is Liz. Liz's puppet is David. David's puppet is Susan. Like, it's just sad. Liz is disgusting.
Yeah, beyond.
I'm not talking about.
No,
I mean, to her core, she is
exactly.
disgusting.
Yeah, me too. My whole face is like screw face every time she comes on. Yeah.
Like, are you gonna sleep with her tonight?
Yeah,
you are. You are gonna sleep with her, you little bitch. Like that's.
Yeah,
like,
and then when he was like, okay, cool, but then I can't sleep with you too. She's like, well, do you need something? Dude, that's disgusting.
Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mind a little kink. It's not that. It's just, it's not kinky. It's she's being manipulative.
See, and to me, I don't think that's kinky. I think that's just you just don't do that. Like if he literally is like cool, and even if it's just mentally because he needs to get his head right, and she's like, well, stop being. You know what? I'm not you. Like maybe I have to somewhat be at least 1% mentally invested in order to sleep with someone, in order to get hard to sleep with someone.
All right, and sometimes just leave people alone.
Completely,
like, leave him alone for a minute.
But I think in Lizzie's mind, she's thinking, although I'm manipulating you and I want you to go do this to this girl, your job is still to
service me.
Thank you. And so you service me, and a lot of times had he serviced her first, sometimes when you go the first round, you still have a wanting for round 2. So if he would have serviced Lizzie first, then he probably could have had the leftover not the leftover.
Okay,
but
no, and that doesn't work. That don't work at all. You wanna know why? Because you're calling everyone else. You calling everyone else in this show old. No, you calling everyone else old. David's old. David can't pop off with Lizzie and then go back and pop off with Susan. He don't got that much energy in him on the real. He don't. You know, after he's done, he's like on that carpet, like
he might have been juicing.
But that's why she said, "Do you need something?" No, really, come on, y'all. No.
You know what I think though, as their relationship progresses, and also, so scandal facts first. Susan is leading in the polls.
Yes.
Which
makes sense.
It makes sense. She's very happy with David. She invited him over. They had their special time. Liz called to say, "Hey, how'd it go? What's up?"
No, didn't she say how was it?
Oh yeah, how was it? Yeah. Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
She's.
But she looked her. She was in her feelings.
She was
when
totally
he was like,
in her feelings.
The verdict's not in because we going for round 3.
I didn't have a problem with her asking how was it.
Really?
Not at all.
Why not?
Because in open type relationships, you talk about stuff like that.
Even in
No,
a
they don't
relationship?
have an open relationship.
I know,
They
but
have
a title.
No. Because the difference she would have said, "Are you successful?" Because if in fact that if the reason I am telling you to sleep with Susan is purely political, then I want to know, did you do the deed in a way that sealed the deal for her? Asking how was it? That's a different type of like we boys, or we friends, or we girls.
She's kinky.
But she's not, and that's why she got her feelings hurt.
You know what I'll say? If she really is kinky, this is where I see it progressing with this relationship or whatever they have. Okay, so she's gonna start having a bag with her, and the bag's gonna have like thigh-high leather boots on, and then she's gonna have one of those things.
Yeah,
the cages for him. And then a ball gag.
Yeah.
And
ABC?
Yes.
Agreed. I agree.
Yes,
I totally
that's
agree.
gonna happen. He's gonna have to start saying yes, ma'am. That's where I see this going, and it's disgusting. Not the act.
Hi, Geraldine 94.
Oh, she said hi. Oh, she was from Periscope. What's up, girl? Did y'all want to talk about anything else? Did we miss anything?
Oh my god, and thank you so much at VolleyGirl5 for telling me that it was the episode before the trail when Fitz is negotiating with Tom about going to Liv's.
Wait, say that one more time.
So at VolleyGirl5 reminded me that it's the episode before the trail where Fitz is negotiating with Tom about going to Liv's. So that's all the way in season 1.
Everything, man.
Well.
Oh my god. Yes. Wait, authentic Boogie? Yeah, I'm really turned tonight. He was like, who's turn? Yeah, no, I'm really like. And it's water.
Oh no, we talked about that. We talked about the monster thing.
Oh, we did. Perfect.
Yeah. I think we cover. If we didn't cover everything, you know where to find us online. Go ahead and give your Twitter handles right now.
No.
At Emile Ennis Jr. Tweet me.
At Kennelia.
At Sofia Stanley.
At Bamm Ericsen.
We're in a mood tonight, y'all. We're in a mood. Let's go to Kennelia's cold piece of the week.
Cold piece of the week for Scandal season 5, episode 12 goes to Abby, aka Gangsta Boo, for the notorious Fitz Reed. Y'all know how I feel. I said all of the time, Fitz can get dragged. He can get dragged like a baby's a dirty pamper when the dog bited and carried across the room. However, she was actually saying things that Fitz needed to know, and she was actually saying things that Fitz act like he didn't know. So for that reason, I'm giving her cold piece of the week. Let us know who you think cold piece of the week should be. Hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using hashtag cold piece.
Yes. Now let's go to news and gossip.
AFTERBUZZ TV News.
Okay, this isn't even scandal related, but it's scandal adjacent because it airs on ABC. I finally watched last night's episode of Blackish. Y'all, if you have not watched it, please, I implore you to watch the episode. It was so amazingly done. If you don't watch Blackish already, it's already an amazing show, but the way they tackled the issue of police brutality, people not getting convicted and indicted, it was just amazing. It balanced humor, it balanced serious subject matter, and everybody was tweeting the one scene where they talk about President Obama's inauguration and what we were all feeling. So if you haven't watched it, just please watch it. It's such an amazing episode, and support the show. Even when Empire comes back on, support the show. Just DVR it, or watch that and DVR Empire, whatever you need to do. But it was such an amazing episode, so I just had to say that because we didn't get to talk about it on Happy Hour because when it was airing, we were actually taping. So did you guys have any other news and gossip?
I don't.
I just a funny story. I'm still in a sexual mood.
Wait a minute.
Woo!
Wait a minute. Sophia, you right next door.
I was reading. Viola Davis was on Sway in the Morning.
Oh,
And she said that during a sex scene with her and Billy Brown, the guy who plays Nate, they got so rough that it got so rough that she broke her back. He broke her.
He blew her back.
He blew her back out.
He blew my back out.
Wait a minute now. Now he works out in my gym. I be seeing him.
I know. I need to make it.
Kennelia supposed to be coming with me for a little guest pass.
I gotta get
Oh, no, I'm ready.
I gotta
Juicy?
get
I'm ready.
Listen, I know he be there though.
I'm ready.
Get the workout tights on.
Oh my! Did she really say
She
that?
did, and so in addition to that, so she had to tell them to ease off on the sex scenes until her back gets better. So she hasn't had a lot of sex scenes since we've come back from the break because it was a scene where he threw her against the wall and blew the girl back out. And so she says, when I get better, then we can go back.
Right?
I love it. I'm sorry.
I was waiting.
What are they playing?
Can't. Yeah, what song is this?
It's some sex songs. I don't know.
Oh, it kind of
That
sounds
sounds like
the intro.
Shaft. Oh, it sounded like Shaft to me.
The beginning of it sounded like a little bit of Papa Was Rolling Stone.
No. This is like 1970s porn music.
It's the champagne room music.
All right, so let's go into predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
Oh my god. And also too, before we do predictions, if anyone is still completely in love with Scandal and they are offended by my disregard, I apologize. But I can't help it. So it's gonna get into you. I just gotta keep 100, but I apologize, but it will continue.
So I predict that I am going to tweet these people back who say that they confused by the show, but we make it worth it to watch. Lily Tesfaye.
Oh, whoop, 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 whoop.
And Fifio, good morning from London.
Oh, what up?
Anyway,
Hello.
so predictions. I predict, like I said last week, that Lillian Forrester is a plant. I predict that, like I said last week, Susan is going to find out, or either David actually is going to fall in love with Susan, and then she's going to find out, and that's going to be some drama right there. Or he falls in love with Susan, and Liz actually purposely has her find out because she finds out that she's actually in love with David. And Liv and Fitz, I just want to play it by ear. I can't.
I'm sticking with my prediction that Liv is the target mate for Jake. Especially when he was describing his girlfriend, he was talking about her. And at this point, because he already said that he wants the White House in a very subtle way, in his mind, the perfect person for him and to be in there with him is Liv, especially with him and Papa Pope living together. You know, he was like, yeah, you need to see what's good with Liv. So I'm sticking with that.
I think that Lizzie's going to get into her feelings and she's going to wind up sabotaging Susan's chances at being in the White House. And then my sources, the streets, have told me that something very huge is going down for the Marcus character soon.
Okay, good, because he's getting the
I mean,
Because I was,
that's
I know it is, but I don't want to tell you because you'd be like, well, don't tell me.
No, don't tell me.
But I'm just saying,
Is he gonna be kidnapped?
I'm just saying, thank God, because he came in at the very end of this episode and he had 2 lines.
But he's getting that paycheck, though.
Also, no. Can I also back up though, because I think that it's also relevant given our news and gossip regarding the episode of Blackish. I think we have to not forget how we were introduced to Marcus. We were introduced to Marcus during the lawn chair episode, which arguably was last year's version of Blackish's episode. I say that to say that he is an absolutely stellar actor. So it is endemic of this show, because this show has become such a circus, because it has become such a behemoth, that you take on such a stellar actor and don't adequately use him because the show is already too top heavy. I think speaks to why some of us, i.e. Sofia Stanley, is disgruntled and pissed off and upset at the tenor of the show. So I'm going to quickly do shout outs. One to Cheesecake 1952 and one to Sheena B85. She said for a moment she thought the other woman was Melly. Before they introduced the redheaded girl with the bob, they thought that the other woman was Melly. I thought that could have been a...
Okay.
Cool.
I mean, they do like sleeping kind of with the same girl.
Well, guys, we had a blast tonight. We did not drink. We were just turned high on life. So
really
get like us.
I'm just mad that I'm just so happy that I'm not sick anymore.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if anyone out there was sick. I had a cold or the flu or something that I was fighting and trying not to breathe on these guys when we were in the studio during happy hour. And so I'm finally feeling 100%, even though my voice is still or whatever.
We ain't sick. But where can we find you guys on social media?
At Bamm Ericsen.
At Sofia Stanley, Twitter and Facebook, at The Sofia Stanley on Instagram. And if you want to listen to our podcast, Happy Hour, A Shot of Conversation, you can follow us at happyhour_TV.
I forgot. I'm sorry. Just really quickly, I'm sorry. I have a new movie that's coming out called Dysfunction. So if you check my Twitter or my Facebook, you can check out the new trailer, and it's coming out later, summertime.
Perfect. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia.
And for me, at Emile Ennis Jr. Guys, we had a blast. I'm going to switch to this camera. Thanks so much for joining us each and every week. We really do love you guys, and we love recapping this show for you. So tell a friend. We will see you guys not next week because Scandal's off next week. We return, what is it?
March 10th.
March 10th. But if you need to get your fill, we will still be doing Happy Hour. Go to iTunes and check it out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.